Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Escape Art by Scott. It's been a few days since my last video that I made, probably around 10 days or so. Been a little sick, a little ill in those 10 days. Had a little coughing spell going on, a little pneumonia, whatever it was. It's about gone now. I still got a little touch of it, but I think it's good enough if I could do this video. During that time, I was just coughing too much. I couldn't paint and cough at the same time, alright? So, I believe I can get this video done with a minimal of coughing. But, alright, let's get on with it. You didn't hear me talk about my illness. You're here to see me paint, in which I appreciate it. And keep subscribing to that channel for me, guys, and hit that old like button, and I would appreciate it. And let's get on with this. This is going to be courses on a black canvas. And this is a 18 by 24 size canvas here. And what I will be doing today is putting a little phthalo blue area, paint around this area here, and then on the outside of it I'll be painting some phthalo green. And I'll come back in with a little white, but I'll show you all that. But I'm going to put in a few waterfalls. I'll show you today how you put a waterfall in front of a waterfall, you know, and this is the way I do it. There's many ways to do it, but this is the way I do it. And I'll be putting the waterfalls here, and but let's just get on with it, all right? And I already got me some paint on my brush here, some phthalo blue, and I'm going to go ahead and mist this down so this phthalo blue can slide on and blend easier. And I got me just a plain old brush just to spread this water out just a little bit more. Something like that. And come right back in here with this little phthalo blue and pick you out a spot. Probably I'm going to start right in here. And you can just go over and over however you want to do it. You know, with this water, it takes very little color on your brush to get this effect, spreading this on. Now, if it was just a dry canvas, ooh, you'll be spending all day trying to put that blue on, because that canvas will just soak up that paint. But with that water on it, it just makes it glide right on over. I'm putting a little phthalo green on my brush here. Did not clean my brush. I kept the blue on there, no big deal. And move fly, and come on out here right to the edge here and just put in some phthalo green right up in here. And something like that. And that's all I'm going to do for that for right now. I got me some white paint on my brush, and come right in here, right where you want to highlight it at the most lighted part of the canvas, which I think I'll put it right around in here. And see, when that white mixes in with that blue, it just lightens it all up. Now you can see. And the main thing on this, guys, is that when you, of course, when you come out here, you're going to hit some of that phthalo green. Is that when you're doing this type of painting, is do not go back into the center with this brush, because now see it's dirty. You're going to have to clean your brush every time. Now, you know, I might be, you think, oh, that's too aggravating. Well, it would be more aggravating if you went back into your white paint with this brush, because it's dirty. It has green and blue paint on it now. So I'm going to continue working on this here. All right, and I'll be right back. I got me a little thicker brush here that I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and come right here in the middle and start blending this out a little bit, because this thicker brush has more hair on it, and it'll help blend this out a little bit easier than what that brush I applied the paint with. And I already could tell I need some more water. A little light mist here. And just keep blending it out. Do not go back in to that lighted area. You know, this is going to be a deep forest scene, so it's okay to leave little dark areas throughout your painting and use that. Because, you know, as you know, in forest scenes, they'll have dark areas, of course, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Well, actually, I'm going to step back and take a look, see if I need to make that a little wider, a little lighter light, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, now I'm going to put in some trees in the background here. And what I did was I mixed me up some of that phthalo blue and some of that phthalo green. And put a little white in there just to lighten it up. That's something that you have to play around with until you get the color just right, back and forth. And let's see, I think I'll go right here. And I'm using a oval brush to do this. These oval brushes seem to work pretty good because they have these little hang-me-down type of limbs. That's kind of nice. And not too distinct here, it's still too far away. And of course, you know, the trees right in here will be lighter, and as you come out here at the edges, a little darker. A little bit more. I'll come all the way up here. And I think I'll leave that little dark area right here on purpose. It shows a little color in the background. More here. I moved my easel back a little bit. I noticed as I was tapping, I kept on hitting that tin, and that's what you was hearing. So I moved it off away from the wall, so you won't hear that. And just keep coming down. And I'm going to keep working on this. I want to keep going out here a little darker and darker. And as you come out here, you want to bring the trees down even further. So darker on the edges and lower. And I'll be right back. I just want to show you where I'm at right now. See, I got very light. And I gradually got darker and darker out here. And leave some holes into your trees. And so the light will show through. It's very nice. Adds a little detail to your painting. I just wanted to stop and show you that and show you where I'm at with the painting. Alright, so just hang in there guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm going to work on my waterfall now. And I just got me this type of brush right here to do this. The brush is straight across. And I'm just going to come out. You can do this with a palette knife also if you want. But I just decided to use this brush. No big deal. And come right here with your very first one, and all you want to do is just basically a little line. And your very first one should be a little small because your waterfall is going to get bigger and bigger down here. So you don't want this one here to be the biggest one. Okay, so keep that in mind. And you want to touch it and just do a little pull down on that. Now I got my little fan brush, and I'm going to come right up here and just touch this waterfall. And just come down with my strokes. And there you got your very first waterfall. And there's the first one. And now, come back here. Let's put a little bit more water at the very base of this. A little watery line. Something like that. And then come again with your brush. You had your blue and your phthalo green on it. And come a little wider this time. You just want to touch it. And have it come down just a little bit further. As you get your waterfall coming, you want it bigger than the first one that you put. Now my next waterfall will be bigger than that one. Alright? Alright, I got me some paint on my brush here, and now I want to come right here. And drop that one in. Alrighty. Give me some more paint. I get some more white paint. Here comes another one. If you know you need to add some more white paint to the brush, that's fine. And that's basically how this is going to be done. Hey, each time I put a waterfall in here, it's going to be bigger and bigger. All right, and that's what I'm going to continue on right about down here with that, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm about done with my waterfalls here. And I got 1, 2, and 3, 4 waterfalls right here. And at the very bottom, all I did was I come back in here with some blue and some phthalo green, and I just covered the bottom part of this painting with that color. Now I'm going to come back. I got me just plain old white on the brush, and start wherever you want to start at. And I believe I'll start right here's a lighted area, so right here is going to be probably the most lighted part of this little pond. You just come right through here. And you really need to start in the most lighted area and work your way out. Because out here it should get darker and darker. Further away from that light. And then come right across here. And don't play with this too much because you ruin it. I know I ruined many of them. And there it is, a nice little pond. And of course I'll come back in here with some white paint at the very bottom of this waterfall right here, and just put little splashes in. Just a little, with just the corner of the fan brush, and just put little splashes in, little water lines. So Something like that. You can come out here and put a little splash in. As long as your lines need to be kind of straight as you can get it. There. Now I'm going to step back and take a look and see what I need to add to it. Alright guys, now we're getting to the part where it's time to play around with this little painting just a little bit here. I'm going to play around with some little foliage here. I got me some sap green and some yellow. And put a little white in just to lighten it up because it's going to be right here next to this lighted area. And I'm just going to touch it up just a little bit right here. You know, we need something to, you know, we got this waterfall. We need something to block it in a little bit here now. And I'm just using this little oval brush again. Same brush I usually put them in. It's all right if you want to hang them over over to the waterfall. That's okay too. Ooh, I bet you'll find mosquitoes in there, won't you? I guarantee you that. Probably might even find a little deer through there, some deer. You know, I want to talk a little bit about that, and as I'm going along here, I don't understand how a hunter can be out there in those woods and get something like a beautiful buck, you know, 10-point buck, whatever you call them, and get them in your sights, and you pull the trigger, and you shoot it in his head, and you cut his head off, and you mount it on your wall. Really? I don't understand that at all. You know, killing these animals just for sport. Yeah, I don't. You know, people out there in those safaris, you know, they went hunting these beautiful animals down, like, you know, like tigers, these majestic animals. And, I mean, some of these animals are, you know, 30, 40 years old, whatever, you know, and they're huge, big animals, and they have to be that old to get that big, right? And you shoot them. They live long enough so some idiot can go by and shoot them. I just don't really get it. I'll tell you a little story what happened to me as I'm painting along here. Yeah, I need to put some tree trunks in here to hold all this up. So I'll get to that here in a minute. But my little story I want to tell you, when I was a little boy, probably 10 years old, whatever, I got a BB gun for Christmas. True story now, true story. And I was out in my backyard, and I thought I was really doing something. You know, I was out there shooting birds. And I was out there shooting, and all the birds flew away. It was getting a little dark, cold, and I had snow up to my knees and everything, so it was getting cold, and all the birds flew away. So I said, yeah, I'm going inside. Well, I was walking, I had this tree right there in the middle of my yard, and a tree, you know, that split, you know, into a Y formation. And right in between there was a squirrel. And well, I took aim, and I shot it, and the squirrel hit the ground. I went over to it, and I got it right there in the neck. And it died right there in front of me. my goodness, I felt so bad about that. Well, I looked up, true story guys, I looked up and all those birds, I bet 10 or 15 of them flew right above my head or landed in that tree. And I mean, it was close enough where I could just reach out with the BB gun and touch them. And it's almost like they were saying, you really enjoy shooting us, go ahead and shoot. And I was probably 10 years old. I never shot nothing again for the rest of my life. And I never will. True story. But again, how these other guys can go out there and, you know, the elephants. I mean, people are actually killing these elephants for their tusks. And there's absolutely no reason for it. None at all. There's not, they say there's no medical reason. You know, these tusks don't have no medical properties in them to heal anything. So, I mean, now I ask you, who's worse off? I mean, who's the bagger people, the one that's shooting them or the one that's buying them? Because if there's a market for an item, someone's going to have that item. So it's up to you guys if you want to keep paying these idiots for killing these rhinos and elephants and all for their tusks. It just, I don't know. But, you know, enough on that. You know, then, you know, you got you people talking about, you know, the global warming, you know, and, you know, a lot of these animals suffering, you know, like the polar bears and all. Well, maybe they're suffering, but these other animals are enjoying it. So, what's bad for one animal is good for another. And who's to say this ain't supposed to happen anyway? This is global warming. Yeah, maybe we had something to do with it. Maybe, you know, we kind of sped it up, I guess. But eventually, who knows, it might have happened, would have happened anyway. So, that's my view on that. I'm just continuing on right here. Putting this little grassy areas in. And just highlighting a few here and there. See it now, how does it look now? See, I blocked in this area. Now it's looking a little better, right? Alright, I'm going to come back in here and put me some tree trunks in there before I forget. Alright, guys, I'm back. I got my mixed med a little paint. Just a little double over my brush again. There's the dark side. And right there's the lighted side. Of course, the lighted side towards the light, of course. And we're just going to come right down here and put in some tree trunks. Something like that. Something like that. I got my tree trunk a little lighter than I wanted it, so I'm going to come back and darken them up just a little bit. And there's that. Alright. We're going to come over here. Forgot about this. Just wherever. Something like that. Alright, I'm back. I had to cut off the camera. It was about to go dead, so I'm back and ready to get this thing finished here. Now I'm going to double load another brush just to filter a dark side and then the light side. And I thought I was going to come right in here and just put in some stones right here in this water. Just some stones here and there. Give your waterfall a little more detail to it. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. Get some more paint. Something like this, wherever you want them at. Maybe you don't want stones in your waterfall. That's fine too. Whatever you want. Put a nice one right here. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to continue on putting the stones through here. So, and I'll be right back. Just make sure you, if you are doing this, double load your brush. Dark side on one side, light on another. And of course, make sure your light is facing up, okay? But that's the way I do it. You know, other people, artists, they'll come in here and they'll put their stone color in, then they'll come back with some highlight. You know, it'll take them an hour just painting one little pebble. You know, that ain't the way I do things, okay? So either you like the way I do things or you don't like it. So I want to continue on putting some stones, rocks through all this waterfall here. All right, and then I'll be right back. All right, I believe I'm done with this old waterfall here. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna come back in here, and I got me some purple and some white. A little touch of white to bring out the purple, and I'm just gonna put me in some nice little purple flowers right in here. And I think purple, for some reason, in my mind, purple and green just go so good together. In my mind now, maybe you don't want purple flowers, or maybe you want some red ones or whatever, which is fine. Or don't put none at all. Don't put no flowers. But I just wanted to color this in just a little bit right through here. You know, I got a full charge on my camera, so I can talk a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to do now, is just talk a little bit and one of my favorite, talk about some shows I like to watch. One of my favorite shows that I like to watch is, believe it or not, is Judge Judy. Have you guys heard about that? The show's been out for years. It's called the Judge Judy Show. But anyway, just look it up. I ain't going to go into much detail about what it is. If you guys don't know what it is right off, you got to look it up. And don't don't really bother. But you know, some of those, they say those actors, they're not actors. They're just real people, real litigants coming into court with real problems. And it is just hard for me to believe those are not actors. They're not acting out. I mean, they're saying that they're, you know, they're real. It's hard for me to believe some of those characters that go in there are just, they're not acting. And because they are some of the most strangest characters, and what people believe in, it just boggles the mind. That's what it does for me. It's just strange what how people think and what they do, what they think they can do to one another, and they don't have to be held accountable for their actions. It's just, I mean, you know, you look some of those cases. Really, that's how you think? Oh, you know, I won't go into all the shows that I've seen, but there's one particular episode that is just so bizarre to me. It was the one where the plaintiff suing the defendant for breaking into her house and doing some other things, stealing their car and all. And you would not think that the defendant would do such a thing, because the defendant was a lady, well-dressed lady, probably some education too, a little college, you know, and you would not think it's absolutely impossible for this to happen, but it did. It happened according to that show. What it was that the defendant went to this house, okay, and parked their car alongside their driveway, got out of their car, went into this people's home, someone's house, okay, looked around, seen some keys, came back out into their driveway now, moved the owner's car out of their driveway, got back in their car, moved their car in, okay, and they came back out, got the plaintiff's car and moved that back in, then got out, and I believe, I understand right, they went to work. They lived right down the road, or they worked right down the road from this person's house. Well, the person came home from walking their dog or something or another and found some, you know, some vehicle in the driveway. Their car has been moved. You know, she called her husband. She said, stay out of the house. He said, stay out of the house, and called the police. You know, and long story short, okay, the defendant thought they knew who lived there. Now, this is the defendant's words. Now, she got out of the car and went inside, knocked down the house, no one answered, walked in, thinking they knew who lived there. You know, now she's walking through the house, okay? Yeah, I'm sure these people had pictures and everything else everywhere. She had to realize that she's in the wrong house. But she did realize that. Oh, I'm in the wrong house. Oh, here's some keys. I'll just move their car out of the way. All right, and when she got done with everything, she locked the house up. And the defendant, out of her own mouth, said that the plaintiff should be thanking them, not suing them, because she went through the house and locked her doors. I mean, are you kidding me? She actually think that it was all right to go in someone's house that they don't know, and go around and locking the door, getting in their vehicle, moving it out of their way so they can move in there. You know, it was just so bizarre. But that's what it was. That's what it was. You know, getting back at my, what I was telling you before about, you know, the hunting and all that. You know, I don't understand why hunters get such a big thrill out of that. Let's say just going out killing a deer. I mean, there's some elusive, secretive animals now. You know, I killed one a while years ago going down the road. I mean, hunters talk about, you know, their high-powered rifles, you know, and how they can kill an animal 2 miles away or whatever, you know, and this and that. Well, I killed one, you know, going, 55, 60 while blowing my horn, and the thing still ran out in front of me. But yet, people want to brag about how they can kill these animals. Nah. I mean, they want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, roll around in deer pee, and then climb trees and sit there and wait for an animal to come by. And the whole time you're shaking like this because it's so cold. You people don't have nothing better to do? To roll around in deer urine? Wow. That's all I can say about that is wow. I got better things to do, like showing you guys how to paint this pretty painting I'm doing. And then, you know, those big safari, how in the world can you come across a tiger? One of the most beautiful animals ever for the history of this planet. Can get an animal in your crosshair on your rifle, the scope of your rifle, okay, and pull the trigger. It ain't human to me. It just ain't human. And then you want to cut its head off or skin it or whatever and make a rug out of it. And then those idiots that go to the Congo and kill those great apes, the gorillas, and cut their hands off and use them for ashtrays. God, it's just so, it really sickens me, really. But anyway, enough on that. I'm almost done with this, guys. I'm almost done. I want to come back down here, and I'm going to do something right down in here, I think. So I'll be right back. I just got me some green on my brush here, right on the tip of it. And I'm just going to put a nice little bush right here. Something like so. Something like that. Let me come right down here. Yeah. Something like that. I got me just a little red on my paintbrush here, and I'm just going to put in some little red flowers right down here. There's many ways of doing this. You can do like I'm doing, just put little dots. And you come back in here and do like that. Whatever. Something like that. And then you can also turn it off for a minute. You can come back with your little one-liner brush and come right up here and put little swirls in there. Just little swirls. I guess it'd be called, roses, I don't know. Flowers to me. Something like that. Then one liner brush again. I got one side green. Let's see here. One side green, the other one side white. And again, double loading it. Just come up here and just touch it. And you can put all kind of like these little leaves all around these little flowers that you just made. And this painting's almost done. All I'm going to do to it. Hope you like this one. A little different than what I normally would do. I might come back, touch it up a little bit here and there. But you got the majority of it anyway. So again, guys, keep hitting that old like button. Subscribe to the channel for me. Help me out with my videos. Alright, and until next time, guys, you take care of yourselves.